Welcome to Leap Forward with Reister and Schnell. My name is Chad Stoutinger, Regional Sales Manager. Episode 2 of Leap Forward. Today we're going to focus on lawn and garden and turf products. Super excited about hearing from one of our experts that we have based out of the Chilton store, Josh Banke. Josh, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been in lawn and garden sales here for about 4.5 years now, and just started at the bottom and quickly jumped up to sales and realized how much I liked it, and I just kept going from there.
Okay, so when you started here, what did you start as a technician?
I actually started as building and grounds, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And people found out you could talk to customers.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
I can talk.
And here you are today, one of our top salesmen in lawn and garden and turf, so nice job. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you today, Josh, about is the diversity of the customers that we deal with in lawn and garden. My focus is obviously on the ag side pretty heavily, and of course there's diversity in the customer base there, but we're talking about farmers in general, right? Producers, people who grow things. In your world, in lawn and garden, tell me a little bit about the customer base that you deal with.
Sure, I deal with customers of all sorts. I mean, anything from like a small garden tractor here to a zero-turn, gator, compact tractor. The market is just huge right now. Basically a customer, for everything.
Okay. Interesting. So when you talk about the customers that are walking in through the door, now Josh does primarily inside sales here at Reister and Schnell, which is a little bit different than the ag side. So customers are coming to the store looking for products. What are some of the different backgrounds you see in the customers that come in?
I mean, it's anywhere from your guys that are cutting a little bit of grass up to your commercial guys that are cutting tons of grass, up to, people using compact tractors for basically anything these days.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So I look at myself personally. First of all, I'm a hunter and fisherman. I like to mow lawn. That's one of my favorite things to do. I sit there, put the AirPods in, Josh, cruise around, listen to some tunes, vegging out. That's fun. I want to own all this equipment. So do you ever get people that come in and look for multiple units at one time?
Yeah, I've actually sold quite a few people on different units. They'll start with something small. Let's go up to something a little bigger. Then they'll want a gator. Then they'll want a compact tractor. I've actually had quite a few people buy different units at one time, believe it or not. Yep.
Okay. Question for you. When we talk about customers returning, one of the ways to measure your success as a dealership and as a business is return customers. How many times do people return for another John Deere?
Yeah, some of my customers actually buy new equipment every single year, believe it or not. But then there's some that, this stuff lasts, so that they'll keep it for 10, 15 years before they decide to buy something new.
Wow, that's kind of how I am too. I keep equipment and run it a long time because I like it.
Right.
But there's some value in trading into newer models as well, depending on the market. So that's great. We've talked about customers a little bit, Josh. Now I want to dig into the lineup a little bit. I talked about ag and it being diverse, but the number of models we have per segment, for example, let's talk about self-propelled forage harvesters. We have less than 10 different models to choose from, right?
Sure.
When it comes to lawnmowers, and I walk through our showroom, and at all the stores, there's this huge variety of equipment. Tell me a little bit about the different types of pieces of equipment we sell and go into some of those models if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. I'll start with our riding lawnmowers. We got everything from like a S100 up to like an X7 series. Then we got our zero turns. There's small zero turns, medium-sized zero turns, up to commercial zero turns. Then we get to compact tractors even mowing lawn. We put decks on those things these days. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So a lot of different ways to mow. We have tractor models and we have these zero turns you're talking about. Now, I'm a traditionalist. I like my tractor, okay? Live on a hill. I think it climbs the hills well. I just like the maneuverability that I have with the tractor, but it's what I grew up with, mowing my entire life. So tell me why I should try a zero turn. What are the major differences in applications of those products?
Well, number one, the zero turns are a lot quicker. A lot of people are busy these days, things to do. That zero turn will cut off about a half hour of your cutting time. If you got flat land, a lot of trees to mow around, the zero turn's the way to go. In your case, like you said, you have some hills, not so good. Okay. You probably want to stick to a garden tractor, but other than that, them zero turns are awesome machines. They're mowing quicker. They got the nice seats. It's just crazy how far that technology in that machine has gone.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I think about with the tractor model, which is very common, is I can do other things with it. I can pull things. I can put a dethatcher on there. I can put a bagger on there. Again, I'm old-fashioned with that. Tell me about zero turns. I believe we can do some of the same thing.
Yeah, actually, there are a few different aftermarket kits you can use for thatchers on those, but we can also put anything from a 3-bag system on there up to a dump from seat. You don't even have to get out of the seat anymore. Press a button and the thing dumps for you. It's just crazy.
Now, you never told me about that.
Yeah, it's pretty
now
cool.
I'm annoyed because I would have bought a zero turn.
Yep.
So push a button from the seat and it'll dump the bag for you.
Yes, you don't even have to get out of the seat. You push a button, the thing opens up and it dumps it for you. Don't even have to get off the seat.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like something I'd be interested for the next sale. Hint, hint.
Oh, we can do that.
Okay, so that's lawn tractors, that's zero turns. So all sizes available, from the person who wants to mow a half acre to the person who wants to mow 40 acres. We have those options.
Definitely.
Are there any other product lineups that we carry maybe that are related to John Deere but not John Deere branded, that we also sell as attachments or things for mowers and tractors?
Yeah, I know there's a few different things. Like right now we are also selling like Aaron's push mowers. Get into snow, also Aaron's snow blowers. The walk behind machines we still sell for Aaron's because sadly enough John Deere don't make them anymore. But there are a few things we do sell for other pieces of equipment too. And sometimes if we don't have a certain piece that a customer wants, I can order it and get it for them too. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so you can take care of any customer's needs is what you're saying.
Well, pretty much. There's times when people ask for stuff that's way out of my league, but I try to get anything done for a customer I can.
Right, and I've seen that. You're always helping customers in the store and asking questions and trying to find the right fit for them. So
Yep.
Much appreciated. What about gators? I'm thinking I'm a hunter. I'm a fisherman. I want to talk about gators. What are you going to talk to me about?
Well, first of all, it sounds like you need one, so I could definitely sell you one. But
it's not.
anyway,
I just bought a lawnmower.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's not in my budget.
I'll let it go this year, not next year.
All right, we'll talk next year.
But yeah, anyways, them things are great. I mean, we got people driving them on the roads these days. I know a lot of cities around here are allowed. People are driving them like cars. I think it was last year, I sold a guy a gator. He came in this year and he's like, guess what? I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I got 4,000 miles on my gator already. I'm like, what do you do with this thing? He's like, well, it's my daily driver. Besides that, we got a lot of people that hunt and stuff. That's another whole new market. Throw your deer in the box. Haul whatever you want. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of things to do with these things these days.
Yeah, broadly adapted vehicle. And one of the things I find interesting about gators, as I was researching them on our website a little bit and what we have in our bargain shed,
sure,
things in talking to a buddy of mine, man, you can there's a broad price range and a broad diversity of features that you can get if you want to have a touchscreen radio in your gator in a fully enclosed cab and drive it like a car and stay warm in the wintertime. That's an option, right? Compared to something that maybe is more basic.
Yeah, we have everything from the smallest work model without a cab or anything, basically just jump on the seat, jump off the seat for doing yard work, up to something with a fully enclosed cab that people are calling Cadillacs these days. I mean, they got heat, air conditioning, windshield wipers, pretty much anything you can imagine. Then you can throw your radio in there and it's a car basically. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy to me from how that lineup has evolved over the years from the very basic, simple gator. I believe they started as six-wheelers.
Six-wheelers, yep.
And there were some five-wheelers involved in there. And
still sell the six-wheelers, actually.
You do?
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
Okay, so awesome. So that covers gators a little bit, but there is one more equipment lineup that we sell a lot of. There's a lot of different uses for it, and that is compact utility tractors. It's a fast-growing market segment. Why do you think it's so fast-growing?
There's so many things these machines can do. Anything from yard work to blowing snow to mowing your grass to leveling your driveway. It's just crazy the amount of things that machine can do these days, and the amount of machines these days. We got everything from a small 1 series compact tractor up to a 2 series, 3 series, 4 series, and you can put so many different attachments on these machines. It's just kind of neat what they can do.
So what is your favorite compact utility tractor to sell?
Well, probably the 1025R. Probably the most popular machine I sell right now, and probably the most popular tractor out there because it's in everybody's budget. It's a good deal on that tractor, and it can do a lot of different things.
So you're saying everyone can afford a John Deere compact utility tractor?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they can. with our low monthly payments these days and stuff like that, I've got everyone from kids that are 22 years old buying them up to 80-year-old people buying them. I mean, it's a great market and, very reasonable when it comes to that 1 Series machine.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like to think about with the compact utility tractors, not only is all the uses and the different types of owners that can own these machines, but when we look at what they can do compared to, let's say, for example, a skid steer loader, which, has been a very popular machine for a lot of different uses, but those things demand a very high price compared to some of these compact utility tractors, and essentially you're doing a lot of the same things. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, they'll do pretty much anything a skid steer will do. Sometimes they won't quite lift as much, but, just use it a couple more times, take a couple more loads, take a couple more bucket loads. But the nice thing about these compacts is you can fit in some pretty tight areas with them that a skid steer will not. And another thing is, let's say you're doing yard projects. You ain't going to, with one of these tractors, they make turf tires, a radial tire nowadays. That's pretty cool looking. And then also, if you want to get into it, we can also sell you the R4 or R1 egg tires also.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. So a question for you regarding convenience, because I know just like anything you're selling, anyone believes their product is the best. They have a rating system that says they're the best over everyone else. But when we talk about the John Deere brand and the quality, and it comes to compact utilities specifically, there are a couple of features that I'm thinking of that make us unique in terms of mower decks and loaders and things like that. Can you take me through that a little bit?
Yeah, so John Deere does offer the Quick Park loader, which is very cool. There are times when I'll show a customer that tractor, I can get that loader taken off that tractor in under a minute, and you should see their eyes. It's just crazy. Then we get to that drive over mower deck. I mean, you drive over the deck, it connects by itself. You don't have to touch anything. It's just amazing.
So you drive over the deck and the PTO latches in and you're good to go?
Yep, it's auto connect. It connects all by itself. You don't have to do nothing. It's ready to go.
So even the person who's not necessarily mechanically inclined can operate one of these things and switch from attachments back and forth.
Yes, believe it or not, I have 85-year-old guys hooking these mowers up all by themselves. They say, oh, I don't have to do nothing. I sit in the seat. It's kind of cool.
So one of the things that we use on the agricultural side of the business a lot is technology, as far as using what we call the Operations Center, which is John Deere's platform where it's a software program where we can go in and see where all of our machines are, what they're doing, how many hours are on them, what they need for maintenance, and it's really cool technology that we find very useful. I'm hearing there's some things coming down the pipeline from John Deere that would apply to lawn and garden and residential customers that's similar. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually we received word from Deere that soon there will actually be a property center for these compact tractors. Kind of the same as the egg side, but you have your modem on your machine. Let's say, for instance, like a commercial guy, owner of the company wants to know where his guys are, how many hours are on the tractor, stuff like that. He can tell exactly when that machine's running, when it's moving or when it's not moving, all from that property center. It's kind of cool.
Very cool. So it could be used much like it is used on the egg side, all from the residential customer who just thinks it's cool and wants to learn about their machine and keep an eye on it, which, by the way, I think that's pretty cool.
It's cool.
All the way to the commercial business. So you think landscapers, commercial mowing businesses where they might have 2 or 3 different crews out there running, possibly more. So from Property Center, they would have the ability to go in and look how their crew's performing, where they are at any given time, and look at efficiencies.
Yeah, believe it or not, we actually got a couple of egg guys running in it too, just so they can tell when somebody's pushing feed with their compact tractors, believe it or not. So the owner of that farm can say, oh, I see somebody's moving feed right now. He can see that all from his cell phone, even on that compact tractor. It's kind of cool.
And is that time stamped then?
Yes, it is.
It is time stamped.
You can tell exactly when somebody was started the tractor, moving the tractor, stuff like that. It shows you everything. It's pretty cool.
Okay, that's awesome. Other than what you're saying is that if I think this is cool, which I do, and I want to put it in my lawnmower, my next lawnmower will have this technology, my wife, my kids will be able to go into the center and be able to look where I am at any given time and what I'm doing.
Yeah, probably not the greatest thing, but yes, they could do that.
We'll keep that quiet.
Yep, we'll keep that quiet.
But it is great to hear that the technology, much that's tried and true and tested in the agricultural world, and now we're finding other applications for it that could be of definite value to customers.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for taking us through that. One last question I had for you today is, what's the coolest sale you've made at John Deere? At Reister and Schnell, take me through that experience.
Sure. Well, believe it or not, one day about 3.5 years ago, I was sitting at my desk and I see a guy walk in, and he was kind of just walking around the store and, seeing what we all had and looking at the steel equipment. And I'm like, I'm going to go meet this guy and see what he needs, what's going on. Turns out he was actually a former NFL player. I'm like, well, this is kind of cool. Just get to talking to him. He stops by again a couple weeks later and says, hey, I need a lawnmower. I'm like, all right, we can get you a lawnmower. We got a problem a couple weeks later. What's that? My lawnmower's too small. Well, guess what? He actually buys a commercial zero-turn. Then he actually decides he wants to start a business up. So we sell him a 4 Series compact tractor, a skid steer, and a couple other things to help with that business. And it's just taken off from there. He stays in contact with me a lot, and we still talk a lot. So it's kind of cool.
That's crazy. So you never know who's going to walk through the door.
Never.
I'm a little bit jealous of you, so I think I'm going to become a lawn and garden salesman. Just so there's a chance I can meet a celebrity like you have.
Well, we got a couple positions open, but not in Chilton. You ain't getting that one.
All right, fine. I'll have to move. But that's a super cool story, Josh. Appreciate you sharing that with us today. Appreciate all the information you're offering to our customers today about lawn and garden and turf. Of course, all of our 14 locations has someone on staff that can help you if you have questions further on all of our lawn and garden equipment. We're super proud to be carrying the John Deere brand and be experts in that brand. So thank you very much for joining us for Leap Forward today. You can find us on YouTube and also visit our website, www.rands.com. Appreciate you being here. Thank you.
We're your John Deere dealer coming through for you, Reister and Schnell.